Free will pessimist Galen Strawson says, luck swallows everything. Compatibilist John Martin Fisher calls this metaphysical megalomania. He says that total control is hyperbolic. Now, obviously, we don't have control over the rising of the sun or arrival of winter or the rain and so on. But do we have even free will Steelman relevant control that can be shielded from problems that luck produces? Now, this depends on what you mean by luck, but I kind of agree with Galen Strawson. We can't save free will from luck. But how could luck swallow everything? Did luck really swallow your decision to cheat someone or not? Let's find out. The argument that free will and indeterminism are incompatible is known as the luck argument. Those of you who have been following my videos are already aware of the luck argument. It goes like this. P1. If a choice is undetermined, it means that it is possible to make a different choice by assuming the past before the choice as completely identical. P2. If it is possible to make different choices with the same past, it is not possible to provide a contrastive explanation for the choice. P3. If there is no contrastive explanation for the choice, then that choice is by chance. If a choice happens by chance, it is not free. Conclusion: if a choice is undetermined, it is not free. Now, this is a different form of the argument. Physical indeterminism luck objection. Premise 1. Physical indeterminism. Physical causes and/or conditions P indeterministically causes event E to occur, and the agent lacks control over P, so the agent lacks control over E occurring, so E occurring is a matter of luck to the agent. Premise 2. No control over physical indeterminism. Agents have no control over the physical conditions and/or causes P that deterministically cause E to occur. Premise 3. Transitivity of no control. Agents that do not have control over the cause P of E do not have control over E. Conclusion: no free will. Since agents do not cause the indeterministic event E, they don't have free will. Let's get to the luck objection to moral responsibility. If event E occurring is a matter of luck for the agent, in the sense of the agent not having control over E occurring, then the agent does not freely bring about E. So the agent is not morally responsible for E occurring. The loss of moral responsibility also follows from the metaethical principle ought implies can, as this principle says one cannot be responsible for E without freely causing E. For most actions, direct control of the action is a necessary condition for free will. An agent has direct control over E's occurrence when he can bring about E's occurrence by virtue of performing some basic action which, as he knows, will bring about E's occurrence. Insurance formulation of the luck argument. Now let's get to the insurance formulation of the luck argument. Ishtiyaque Haji's insurance formulation of the luck argument says that if an agent performs an undetermined action phi at T, then she could not have ensured or guaranteed that she phi'd rather than psi'd at T. The core of this argument can be characterized by the following two claims. LA1. If an event is undetermined, then it is a matter of luck. LA2. If an event is a matter of luck, then it is not an exercise of free will. According to this formulation, indeterminism prevents agents from having the power to guarantee a particular outcome. Agents try their best, but they cannot ensure what they will do. From this lack of insurance, it is inferred that the action in question is a matter of luck, and thus we have LA1 from above, and it seems that if an action is a matter of luck, then the action is not free, and thus we have LA2. Now, the explanatory formulation of the luck argument maintains that A. Luck is introduced into the action sequence due to the unavailability of a certain kind of explanation. B. It is because the features necessary for the availability of such an explanation is missing that the agent is subject to luck. C. An action cannot be both wholly a matter of luck and wholly under our control. If an event is undetermined, then nothing made it happen. And surely if nothing made the event happen, then the event's occurrence is a matter of luck. Undetermined events thus are lucky events. Conclusion: the luck argument draws the conclusion that free-willed actions which must be under an agent's control cannot be undetermined. But there's another aspect of luck that we use in our daily lives, other than just the indeterminism involved during decisions. Indeterminism is not necessary for an event to be called lucky. Deterministic worlds are subject to luck, just like indeterministic worlds are. For example, if you're born in a rich family, you can be considered lucky. If your father is a policeman in a corrupt country, then you can be considered lucky. If your father is abusive, then you can be considered unlucky. That's kind of the idea with luck that we'll focus on in the rest of this video. Philosopher Thomas Nagel famously identifies 4 different kinds of luck: resultant luck, circumstantial luck, constitutive luck, and causal luck. Constitutive luck. Consider now the significant role luck plays in our lives. First, there is the initial lottery of life over which we have no say. Whether we are born into poverty or affluence, war or peace, abusive or loving homes is simply a matter of luck. It is also a matter of luck what natural gifts, talents, predispositions, and physical traits we are born with. Beyond this initial lottery of life, there is also the luck of what breaks one encounters during one's period of self-formation and what environmental influences are most salient on us. Combined, these matters of luck determine what Nagel famously calls constitutive luck. Luck in the traits and dispositions that make one the kind of person one is. That is, in the traits and dispositions that constitute one. Since our genes, parents, peers, and other environmental influences all contribute to making us who we are, and since we have no control over these, it seems that who we are is at least largely a matter of luck, and since how we act is partly a function of who we are, the existence of constitutive luck entails that what actions we perform depends on luck. Constitutive luck occurs when an agent's dispositions or capacities are non-voluntarily acquired. For example, Miss Card's childhood is very much like the others, except that her father was killed by a drunk driver and she subconsciously developed the policy never to drive drunk. If that traumatic experience had not occurred, scarred childhood would have had some different character traits and would have formed the intention to drive drunk as the others do. Of course, it is outside scarred childhood's control that she had the traumatic experience, and it is outside the others' control that they never experienced that kind of trauma. Plausibly, scarred childhood is not morally responsible for anything relevant to drunk driving. Resultant luck. Resultant luck occurs when an agent performs an action or omission with a consequence that is at least partially beyond her control. For example, Miss Killer is at a party and drives home drunk. At a certain point in her journey, she swerves, hits the curb, and kills a pedestrian who was on the curb. Miss Merely Reckless is exactly like Killer, but when she swerves and hits a curb, she kills no one. No pedestrian was on the curb. Plausibly, Merely Reckless is morally responsible only for driving recklessly, but if luck must be factored out of moral responsibility and the salient difference between Killer and Merely Reckless is a matter of luck, then Killer is also morally responsible only for driving recklessly, and so Killer cannot be morally responsible for killing a pedestrian. Nagel says that the things we are called upon to do, the moral tests we face, are importantly determined by factors beyond our control. Circumstantial luck. Circumstantial luck again highlights the fact that one is morally at the mercy of fate, and not only with regard to factors that form our characters and the consequences of our actions, but also with the circumstances with which we are confronted. While it is easy to want to morally judge and blame those who are tested morally by circumstantial factors and fail, there is also truth to the old proverb, "There but for the grace of God, go I." It occurs when it is outside of the agent's control that she faces a morally significant challenge or opportunity. For example, Miss No Start gets drunk and gets into a car in the same way as our first 2 characters, but the difference is that her car does not start. As a result, she is forced to call a cab. If No Start's engine had turned over, she would have freely driven drunk just as they did. Plausibly, No Start is morally responsible only for forming the intention to drive in a reckless way. But since the salient difference between Killer, Merely Reckless, and No Start is a matter of luck, killer and merely reckless are also morally responsible only for intending to drive recklessly, and so they cannot be morally responsible for driving recklessly or killing a pedestrian. Derek, a skilled basketball player, is about to shoot an easy basket. Unbeknownst to him, a blackbird is poised to attack him, which will ensure that he misses. Nevertheless, Derek makes the basket because a hawk intercepts the blackbird. Derek was lucky in the circumstances in which he made the shot. The last of Nagel's 4 kinds of luck is causal luck, or luck in how one is determined by antecedent circumstances. This kind of luck is essentially the traditional problem of free will. As Nagel puts it, if one cannot be responsible for consequences of one's act due to factors beyond one's control, or for antecedents of one's acts that are properties of temperament not subject to one's will, or for the circumstances that pose one's moral choices, then how can one be responsible even for the stripped down acts of the will itself, if they are the product of antecedent circumstances outside of the will's control? Causal luck completely captures the combination of constitutive luck and present luck. Causal luck occurs when an action is causally determined by factors outside of the actor's control. A person is morally responsible only for what is within her control. But once we factor out from moral responsibility all the resultant circumstantial and constitutive luck, that is factors beyond a person's control, there is nothing left to evaluate. No one is morally responsible for anything. Philosopher Heather Gerd puts light on something called awareness luck in how aware we are of the morally significant features of our surroundings. Individuals placed in the same situation will often notice different aspects of it. Some will notice more of what matters morally, while others notice less. Philosopher Duncan Pritchard introduces another kind of luck, epistemic luck, which can be of 2 types: veritic epistemic luck and reflective epistemic luck. But we don't really have to go deep into that here, or else the video will be too long. In his book Hard Luck, philosopher Neil Levy says, "It is not ontology that rules out free will, it is luck." Beautiful. I would rather like to say we need not be certain of the precise ontology of the universe to deny the existence of free will, when luck itself does it. In the rest of the video, I'll be referring to his book and his views on luck, free will, and moral responsibility. He focuses on 2 types of luck: present luck and constitutive luck. While constitutive luck remains the same, present luck is the luck uttered around the moment of a putatively free action which significantly influences that action. While present luck may include features of circumstantial luck, it is a much broader concept. Apart from indeterminism during decisions, it also includes circumstantial or situational influences that may affect an agent's choice or action in a way that is outside our control. He also divides luck into 2 other types in his modal account of luck: the modal condition and the uncommon instantiation condition, or basically chancy luck and non-chancy luck. An event or state of affairs occurring in the actual world is chancy lucky for an agent if that agent or state of affairs is significant for that agent, the agent lacks direct control over that event or state of affairs, and that event or state of affairs fails to occur in many nearby possible worlds, the modal condition. The proportion of nearby worlds that is large enough for the event to be chancy lucky is inverse to the significance of the event for the agent. Nearby possible worlds being worlds with small divergence from the actual world. A chancy lucky event is Louis winning the lottery. This is because he lacks direct control over winning the lottery. The event of winning the lottery is also at least minimally significant, and in most close possible worlds with a small divergence from the actual world, Louis does not win it. Non-chancy luck. An event or state of affairs occurring in the actual world that affects an agent's psychological traits or dispositions is non-chancy lucky for an agent if that event or state of affairs is significant for that agent, the agent lacks direct control over that event or state of affairs. Even so, states of affairs of that kind vary across the relevant reference group, the uncommon instantiation condition, and in a large enough proportion of cases that event or state of affairs fails to occur or be instantiated in the reference group in the way in which it occurred or was instantiated in the actual case. Elaine may be non-chancy lucky for being a genius with a high IQ in comparison with her peers. This is because Elaine lacks direct control over being a genius. It is significant for her. The uncommon instantiation condition, being a genius, is not commonly instantiated in that reference group. Let's test this claim by examining one example for resultant luck. Resultant luck is luck in the way things turn out. The driver who, through no fault of his own, runs over a small child is a victim of this kind of luck. So is the slightly negligent driver who fails to check her brakes and who, as a result, kills someone. This kind of luck is chancy luck. That is to say, the driver is the victim of bad luck, when it is true that in a large proportion of nearby worlds, events do not occur as they do in the actual world. Resultant luck is a kind of chancy luck. I spoke to Neil and he says that circumstances in which the particular event in the actual world does occur commonly in the reference group are not usually considered lucky. For example, he doesn't want to call the love that most human beings have for innocent babies as a lucky trait because it's not uncommon or different from the other individuals in the reference group. But from a different perspective, I think that even those traits or dispositions are luckily acquired in that we do not choose to be people who like innocent babies, we just are people who like innocent babies, and so on for other traits. Or if you want to use the word fortunate, you can use that as well for those traits and dispositions. Neil Levy's Luck Pincer Argument. Neil argues that regardless of the causal structure of the universe, free will and basic desert moral responsibility are incompatible with the pervasiveness of luck. This argument is intended not only as an objection to even causal libertarianism, as the luck objection is, but extends to compatibilism as well. At the heart of the argument is the following dilemma. Either actions are subject to present luck, luck around the time of action, or they are subject to constitutive luck, luck that causes relevant properties of agents such as desires, beliefs, and circumstances, or both. Either way, luck undermines moral responsibility since it undermines responsibility level control. This is the Luck Pincer argument and it can be summarized as follows. P1. The universal luck premise. Every morally significant act is either constitutively lucky, presently lucky, or both. P2. Responsibility negation premise. Constitutive and present luck each negate moral responsibility. Conclusion. An agent is not morally responsible for any morally significant acts. Basically, Luck Pincer says actions are either the product of constitutive luck, present luck, or both. Now we can better understand the distinction between present luck and constitutive luck. We can say that an agent's decision is the result of present luck if a circumstantial factor outside of the agent's control at or near the time of action significantly influences the decision. Such circumstantial factors could include the agent's mood, what reasons happen to come to her, situational features of the environment, and the like. For instance, our mood may influence what occurs to us and what weight we give to the considerations that do cross our mind. Our attention may wander at just the wrong moment or just the right one, or our deliberation may be primed by chance features of our environment. While present luck is limited to cases of chancy luck, constitutive luck can be a subspecies of both chancy and non-chancy luck, since it can refer to a disposition that an agent possesses in either a chancy or a non-chancy way. Present luck is not only a problem for libertarianism, it is also a problem for compatibilism, although bigger for libertarianism. The core of the Luck Pincer is that a person's constitutive luck cannot be undone by a process which is itself permeated with luck. The actions in which a person takes responsibility by strengthening, maintaining, or weakening her character are themselves lucky. Luck, or the lack of it, does not even out or dissolve with time. It rather compounds and ramifies. We cannot undo the effects of luck with more luck. Suppose that a person's reasons decisively support one action over others due to the way in which her constitutively lucky mental dispositions favor that action over others. In that case, the action is constitutively lucky. Suppose instead that her reason-given dispositions do not decisively support one action over another. In that case, lucky features of her circumstances such as mood, attention direction, or environmental influences at or near the time of choice saliently explain why she chooses one action over another by influencing what reasons come to mind and how strong those reasons are. Such actions are circumstantially lucky. It is also possible that a person's reason-giving dispositions do decisively support one action and that those dispositions are not constitutively lucky because they were previously modified by circumstantially lucky actions. But this possibility also is not a luck-free avenue for self-creation. Now let's see how luck negates even causal libertarian free will. Suppose Mike has found a lost wallet which contains several $100s. Mike could return the money since the wallet contains ID and he could do so at little cost to himself. The owner's driver's license identifies her as living nearby. Mike believes that he ought to return the wallet intact and feels a moderately strong urge to act on his belief. But Mike is poor and needs money and could use that money very much, and he also experiences a moderately strong urge to keep it. Mike is torn, and the conditions for his final decision to be genuinely undetermined are satisfied. The decision the agent makes is subject to luck because nothing about the agent settles the decision. His reasons, desires, and intentions don't settle it, given the weight of both alternatives are equal because he is torn. It's a conflicting decision with equal weights, and the agent has no further causal role in settling the decision. Mike lacks direct control over the decision because it is undetermined. There's no difference in the psychological states of Mike who gives the wallet back or Mike who keeps the wallet. Now, if the agent involving mental states and events like reasons settle the decision going one way or the other, then it's the agent involving mental states and events like reasons that settle it, not the agent himself. And the agent involving mental states and events are a matter of constitutive luck or present luck. Luck Pincer says that actions are subject to constitutive luck, present luck, or both. The kind of luck that is problematic here is present chancy luck for indeterminism, since the agent's putatively free decision is chancy, significant, and circumstantial factors outside of the person's control occur just prior to the decision. Agent causation does not add to the explanation of why one acted as one did either. Now, separating agent causation from event causation, it is only if agent causal root is rational that the agent can secure some freedom level control. But since the agent causal root is not rational, because reason's explanation happens only on the event causal root, this does not secure the agent with any extra control at all. The agent causal power is not an exercise of direct control. If reasons structure the options between which we choose and that exhausts their role, the agent causal power, which selects from among these options, cannot be done for reasons. The power of reasons is exhausted in structuring the options from among which the agent chooses. But agent causation itself is irrational and therefore arbitrary and cannot avoid the luck objection. Selecting from among options that all my reasons combined present me with can't be something I do for reasons, because all the reasons have already exhausted. In Timothy O'Connor's agent causal account, in addition to the structuring role that reasons play, reasons also enter into the content of the final decision. O'Connor believes the agent causal power is itself exercised for reasons. The reasons for which the agent exercises this power are precisely the same as some of the reasons she already had before her. But how is this different from even causal libertarianism, in which the agent chooses from agent involving mental states and events, including reasons? On O'Connor's agent causal account, just as on even causal libertarianism, there is nothing the agent can rationally do to ensure that she selects one option or the other. We cannot cite the agent's pre-existing reasons as her reason for the final agent causal push. She does not control which alternative she weighs more heavily. It's simply a matter of chance. Moreover, a power that cannot be exercised for reasons is no power of the agent's. Compatibilism debunked. Now, compatibilism obviously faces the problem of remote deterministic luck. In a deterministic universe, all our actions are merely the unfolding of the given, that their actions are the determined consequences of roughly their genes and their environment although they are not responsible for either, and both are matters of luck for them. We lack ultimate control over what we do. Remote deterministic luck robs us of this control. But contrary to what is usually thought, present luck is a problem for compatibilism too. Agents cannot freely undo the effects of constitutive luck because free choices are rational choices, and agents' reasons are either the product of their endowment or the product of present luck, or both. The main problem with compatibilists is that they cannot explain how agents can take responsibility for their constitutive luck. Constitutive luck results from factors beyond an agent's control. How can you say that they are responsible for things they did not control? If a person donates to charity, it's either because he was constitutively lucky to have such traits and dispositions, or he encountered enough present lucky events in his life that made him that way, or it's a combination of both. Constitutive luck filters out a lot of frivolizations. But compatibilists say that as long as an agent takes responsibility for their endowments, dispositions, and values over time, she will become responsible for them. They appeal to an agent's ability to take responsibility for constitutive luck, pointing out that their endowment does not determine how agents choose. They say we are each able to work on ourselves and we can modify our inherited elements. However, the power to modify ourselves is also subject to luck. Here's where the problem of present luck arises for compatibilism. When we modify our values, reasons, and desires, we act against reasons of our own. People certainly sometimes do this, but they do so in one of these two ways. Either they do so in a way that is determined by one or more of their pre-existing endowments, and therefore expressing rather than overcoming constitutive luck, or they do so in a manner subject to present luck, some new lucky event happening in the present that overcomes the endowment. Our choices are often influenced by our mood, by what considerations come to mind during deliberation, by the force with which different considerations strike us, by the weight we give to each of the considerations that come to mind due to our constitutive luck, by how much significance we believe each action has, by our ignorance, by when and where our attention wanders, by forgetfulness, by how our deliberation is primed by chance features of our environment, by other influences, and so on and so on. It is not fair to blame someone if they chose a bad action instead of a good one because they happen to have bad luck in what considerations struck them during deliberation. The compatibilist agent escapes constitutive luck only to land in present luck and escapes present luck only to land in constitutive luck. But all these purported acts of self-formation will itself be either subject to present luck or to constitutive luck or to both. And hence one's modified endowment is also the result of luck. Iterated luck does not cease to be luck. Present luck fills the gap left by constitutive luck. It does not matter what the causal structure of the universe is, luck explains all decisions and all actions. So the problem of constitutive luck has no solution because choices that are not settled by the agent's traits and dispositions are subject to present luck. For an agent A to be able to control an event's occurrence or non-occurrence, A needs relevant knowledge. Agents often fail to know how they can bring about an event's occurrence. Sometimes they know how to bring about an event's occurrence, but that event is lucky for them because they lack knowledge of the event's significance. We might, for instance, say that A was lucky not to be on an aircraft that crashed, even though A acted to ensure that he was not on their aircraft, say by taking a later flight. If A might easily have been on that aircraft, possible worlds in which A took that flight are nearby in moral space. A was lucky, but because A chose to take the flight, he did in ignorance of the features which made it significant for him. He did not exercise relevant control of the event. Now, compatibilists run into serious difficulties with epistemic conditions on control of our actions too. The epistemic condition for control is demanding, and it maintains that moral responsibility for an action requires that the agent understand that and how the action is sensitive to her behavior, appreciate the significance of that action for her, and have epistemic access to a range of alternatives. But agents fail to meet these conditions, adding to the fact that they are vulnerable to luck, which means they fail to meet the conditions for moral responsibility. I would now like to introduce something called non-culpable ignorance. Suppose a person doesn't know the speed limit at a particular highway and exceeds it. We can say that he was ignorant and hence morally non-culpable. In some cases, non-culpable ignorance just is constitutive luck. When agents acquire their beliefs through enculturation, they acquire them as a part of endowment of constitutive luck. Failures of appreciation of significance of acts can be non-culpable. Agents are never responsible for their beliefs because they do not exercise freedom-level control over their beliefs. Since non-culpable ignorance excuses, and it is lucky for agents, it's a way in which agents are excused as a consequence of their constitutive luck. Non-culpable ignorance can either be chancy lucky or non-chancy lucky. Suppose a 16th century surgeon operates on a patient without washing his hands or sterilizing his equipment, and as a result, his patient gets infection and dies. The surgeon would not be blameworthy in this situation because he was non-culpably ignorant. The fact that agents are ignorant of the relevant details is frequently a matter of luck, either present luck or constitutive luck or both. The surgeon is non-chancy lucky. Let's say I drop my niece off at a friend's house for a play date. She has a peanut allergy and I forget to inform the other parent at the time of drop-off. When I get to the coffee shop, I realize this and immediately text the parent about the allergy. But because I am in a dead zone, the messages do not go through. Not having received my text, the parent proceeds to give the kids a snack with peanut butter in it, resulting in my niece having a near fatal reaction. The parents' non-culpable ignorance in this case is chancy lucky, since in a large portion of nearby possible worlds, she would have received the text. Since non-culpable ignorance is responsibility undermining and much more common than philosophers typically think, it gives additional force to the luck pincer. Thanks to luck, distant or present, whoever perform wrongful actions typically lack freedom-level control over their actions because they fail to satisfy the epistemic condition on such control. When an agent does not see that she is managing her moral views badly, it would be unfair to blame her for doing wrong if she had no internal reasons for omitting her bad behavior. Internal moral values and beliefs are themselves a matter of luck, either present, non-constitutive, or both. We once again arrive at the luck pincer. It would seem then that present luck, constitutive luck, or both swallows all, and both libertarian and compatibilist accounts fail to preserve moral responsibility. Suppose George is deliberating between two job offers. Though he is more strongly attracted to the first one than to the second, he worries that his potential colleagues are too snobbish. Now, were it to occur to George that what he has interpreted as snobbish condescension might be nothing more than shyness, he would opt for the first job offer. But if this consideration failed to cross his mind, he would choose the second one. Whether this consideration comes to mind during deliberation is decisive for George, despite the fact that the consideration is merely an input into his deliberation. But mere inputs can decisively tip the scales. What goes for George and his decision is often true for all of us. It is frequently true that whether a consideration comes to mind is decisive for us, and so may other kinds of present chance be decisive. What we recall and when, our moods, fancies, the priming effects of environmental influences, any of these might, when we deliberate between options, tip the scales for us. All these are a combination of constitutive and present luck. They're exhaustive, and compatibilists can take no comfort from any of them. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and understood how luck undermines free will and basic tacit moral responsibility. This was quite a long one in our philosophy series. I really enjoyed working on this one. Levy's hard luck was a bit hard to grind through, but luck indeed resulted in our favor. Although not in the favor of free will. Thank you for watching this one. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon. More interesting arguments coming up, I swear. Stay tuned and stay curious. I've been Curiosity, and I'll see you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.